The swearing-ins of the new chief ministers of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh have taken place today with the Prime Minister in attendance. I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story. The surprise factor in the Modi-Shah BJP continues to stun journalists, political pundits, and the political opposition alike. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, seen in those visuals there, may be mobbed by supporters as Mamaji takes Vidai from Madhya Pradesh, but it is now time for the old to make way for the new. Quite literally, the leaders of the Vajpayee-Advani era have been perhaps put to pasture, or perhaps they will be given new roles in the BJP going forward. We simply do not know at this time. The formal swearing in of the new chief ministers of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh have taken place today with the Prime Minister himself in attendance. And in fact, in a rare moment of political grace, rarely seen in our politics today, Bhupesh Baghel, the Chhattisgarh chief minister, was on stage and the Prime Minister stopped to have a word with him. He's, of course, the outgoing Congress chief minister of Chhattisgarh. How do we read BJP's choice for new chief ministers? Beyond the surprise factor and the internal machinations of the party, is there sophisticated caste engineering at play? What's the big message? New chehra, new BJP? How do we understand the Nai BJP? Let's introduce our guest on the program today as we continue to look at the politics of this moment. We're joined from Madhya Pradesh by BJP leader and spokesperson Pankaj Chaturvedi. Namaskar and congratulations, Pankaj.
Namaskar,
Big
thank
day
you
for
very
your
much.
party. Thank you, sir. Kartike Batra, who's of course a visiting fellow with C Voter, is with us, back with us, rather, I should say. Kartike, pleasure to have you back with us. From the Congress, we're joined by spokesperson Ikram Singh Sandhu, and also joining us is political analyst Anurag Naidu. Thank you very much, all of you. Let me get first comments from all of you. Pankaji, I'll start with you. Shivraj Singh Chauhan has got a tearful farewell. In fact, we saw some women crying or ro rahi thi औरतें जब वो मामा जी उनसे विदाई ले रहे थे. Did you feel a little bad for him? I know you're a official spokesperson of the party, तो आप पार्टी से अलग तो position नहीं ले सकते. But be
Barkha,
honest, did you feel a little bad for Shivraj Singh ji today?
Barkha ji, we all are very glad and happy, including Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji. I was with him yesterday when he was addressing a press conference, and he said, "Ke I am 100% satisfied, and I am grateful to the BJP and the party workers who have given me a chance to serve Madhya Pradesh for more than 18 years or 18 years as chief minister." So he was so happy, and no doubt he is a popular leader of Madhya Pradesh across India. He has a huge basket of his supporters who call him Mama or Bhaiya. These are the popular nicknames for Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So we all are very happy, including Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji, and we respect the feelings and the emotions of the supporters of Shivraj ji. Rather, they are the support of the BJP. And this is the strength of the BJP, a common man. What was Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji? In 2005, when he became the chief minister, he was a member of parliament. And everybody was surprised and shocked. Like people are talking about Mohan Yadav ji for today. The same thing was with Shivraj ji in 2005. But he has crossed all the barriers and he has achieved all the great levels of the politics as far as the Madhya Pradesh is concerned, as far as the BJP is concerned. So there is nothing bad which we are feeling. We all are very happy. A new era has started in the Madhya Pradesh. It is a new BJP where you can see a common worker like Mohan Yadav, like Bhajanlal Sharma ji, like Vishnu Deo Sai ji. Now they are heading their different governments, their different state BJP governments. So we all are very glad.
Okay, तो आपने एक बात कही, new BJP, new era where a party worker can rise to the very top, and of course there is a caste calculus at play in all the three choices. उसके बारे में थोड़ी बाद में बात करेंगे. But Ikram, if I may get you in at this point, the opposition was targeting the BJP for not being able to choose their chief ministers. Now they have chosen chief ministers that nobody could anticipate. Not journalists, not pundits, not the. आप क्या कहेंगे?
We were only targeting them on their, late choice for their chief ministers because if you remember, after Karnataka, there was a lot of hue and cry that was raised about, how long we took to name our chief minister. So it was basically just, a tit for tat on that issue that,
Right.
if you take a week, that is okay. But if we took 5 or 6 days, that was harakari or something that Congress was creating. And that was directed both at the BJP as well as the BJP media, as we call it. Not leaving leaving that aside, what they have done today is, like they say, charity begins at home. And for Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah, culling also begins at home. So anybody and everybody in the party who might today or in the future be a challenger to either Mr. Modi or Mr. Amit Shah has to be shown his place. And that's okay for them. It's not my place to tell BJP who their CM should be or who their CM should not be, but it is something as a political observer that I'm actually talking about. That first timers, be it Gujarat, be it Uttarakhand, be it now in Rajasthan, you have first timers, people who have been just picked up and placed at that position. So they will owe their loyalty not to the party, but more to Mr. Modi and to Mr. Shah. And, Mr. Nadda also, if you want to add him. But that poor guy just doesn't have that kind of say that the big two
I
have.
mean, I think it's a fair question, but is the Congress in a position? Is the is the Congress in a position to raise that question, Ikram, given the fact that in your party too, the BJP would argue that the top position, the top decision making is reserved for the Gandhi family. तो आपका सवाल तो ठीक है, लेकिन आप क्या उस पोजीशन में हैं जब वो आप सवाल रेज कर सकते हैं, इकरम?
Barkha ji, you're such a senior journalist, and you will understand that when you say that the top position in the Congress is reserved for the party. Now, you followed the Bharat Jodo Yatra or everything else that the Congress has done. We all have to concede the kind of traction that Mr. Rahul Gandhi gets, no other leader gets. I was in charge of the rally. I was a part of the rally in Karnataka. And I remember there was a stretch. I'll just give you an anecdotal, tale on this, where there was a green area, there was a jungle area. So there, we could not do the yatra. And we had a yatra for the first 1 hour, which did not have Mr. Rahul Gandhi. And we did not have more than 50 people who were there to watch us. And the moment Mr. Rahul Gandhi came, hundreds and thousands of people came out. Now, politics is all about somebody who has traction with the people. If tomorrow there's somebody in the party who will have more traction than Mr. Rahul Gandhi has, we will be crazy if we do not support that person. But in Congress today, we all have to agree the leader who has the maximum traction, the person who has the maximum recall, the person who the cadre wants is Rahul Gandhi. So you cannot hold that against the Congress. But the chief ministers that they had selected, at least I am not from MP and I'm not from Rajasthan or from Chhattisgarh, I don't know. But even people who belong to the state says that the people who have been selected as CMs are, if we can put it, still be charitable, they're political lightweights. And not the people anybody expected will be leading the BJP government. That's all I'm saying. Rest, whoever they want to choose, they can choose. It's their party, it's their government, it is their decision. But this is the arrogance of the party which comes across. And as the principal opposition, this is the arrogance that we have to bring across to the voter, that see, you give them the vote, but you maybe gave the vote to Mamaji. You maybe gave the vote to Raman Singh. You maybe gave the vote to Vasundhara, or you gave the vote to Mr. Shekhawat, or you gave the vote to Mr. Balaknath. But these are the people that they have placed into position. Did the people in Rajasthan give the vote to Mr. Bhajanlal Sharma? Did they give the vote in the MP? No, they did not. They gave to the people who were the tallest leader, and that aspiration of the people was cut to sizes by the Modi-Shah combined, and they have placed their yes men in the top positions.
Let me put this actually to Pankaj ji for a moment, and then I'll come to the others. I think Ikram raises a fair point that while the BJP has accused the Congress of being focused on the family, he says that's because the Gandhis have the maximum electoral traction for us. In your central leadership, that person is clearly the Prime Minister. But at the state level, surely you can't argue that Mohan Yadav has more traction than Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So how do you explain it? The Congress says this is the insecurity of the Modi-Shah-led BJP about anybody who has an independent profile. How do you respond, Pankaj ji?
Barkha ji, political lightweight and political heavyweight, these are the words of Congress dictionary. We all are workers in the Bharatiya Janata Party, and we have not announced any face neither in Rajasthan nor in Madhya Pradesh, not even in Chhattisgarh. And everyone was saying we are fighting the election on collective leadership. Shivraj Singh was not the BJP's face for Madhya Pradesh. Vasundhara ji was not for Rajasthan. Not Raman Singh ji in Chhattisgarh. And it was on the BJP MLAs. They have to decide. It is all these three are the unanimous decision of the MLAs of the Bharatiya Janata Party of respective states. They have decided. So let the BJP elected MLA should decide. Then what? And they've decided. that Mr. Mohan Yadav is our leader of party for BJP for Madhya Pradesh, Bhajanlal ji for Rajasthan, and Vishnu Deo ji for Chhattisgarh. So we all are workers, and that is the principle of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And our motto was very clear: Naam Kamal, Pehchan Kamal, Nishan Kamal. That is our ideology. It is secondarily that who represents the Kamal. Primarily, the victory of Kamal, the victory of Lotus, the victory of Pankaj, because my name is synonym of Kamal. That is more important. And everyone, you talk about any work of the Madhya Pradesh, Bharatiya Janata Party, you talk about the workers of Rajasthan, or you go to Chhattisgarh. We all are very happy and glad that a common worker can get all the best possible places in the party or in the government. That is the beauty of Bharatiya Janata Party.
पंकज जी, since your name is synonymous with कमल, ये तो मानना पड़ेगा कि एक दिन आप भी मुख्यमंत्री बन सकते हैं.
देखिए बरखा जी, व्हाट आई सेड यू, मैंने आपको बहुत क्लियरली कहा कि बीजेपी कैन मेक अ स्मॉल वर्कर to the chief minister or prime minister. What was Amit Shah ji 40 years back? He was the president of the booth committee. What was Narendra Modi ji 30, 40 years back? Now they are leading the nation as prime minister or home minister. You are looking all three new CMs in Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh or Madhya Pradesh. So that is the strength of the BJP, and that is the beauty of the BJP, I should say.
Okay, let's open this up. Kartikeya Batra, there are 2-3 ways of looking at the choices. One, sophisticated caste engineering, a tribal in Chhattisgarh, an OBC in Madhya Pradesh, a Brahmin in Rajasthan, with deputies that have been chosen carefully. Another way of looking at it, as Ikram does, this is ruthless Modi-Shah. They do not want anyone with a profile to exist. And the third is, the BJP has the numbers. As long as Modi wins them elections, they will experiment, they will take risks, they will try and build a new leadership. Which one of these three do you look at when you see the choices?
So why not all three? I mean, I think what they've done is they've tried to achieve several things with one move. And then now I guess it's up to us, how do we speculate on what the pecking order of priorities was? Right? We all know that this dispensation likes people, the central dispensation in the BJP, likes those people who can act as guardians in their states and do not become politically too powerful. At the same time, they had to counter the India Alliance narrative of caste census, etc. And so they made sure that there was this very careful caste-based engineering that was done. Imagine a Yadav CM being fielded by the BJP, and now the impact that might have in 2024. And then I can talk about the tribal vote, the upper caste vote, etc., etc. At the same time, get rid of any potential challengers that might have existed within the BJP in a post 2024 scenario. And even that has been done. So I think at this point, as you rightly said, given that they have the numbers, jiski lathi, uski bhains. So given that, I think they are in a position to do whatever they want. And Barkha, I think it is important to note that history is repeating itself. And Neerja ji, I'm sure if she would have gotten a chance before me, she would have already told this, but now I have the luxury, so I'll take it. That the Congress did that during the Indira Gandhi era, the Rajiv Gandhi era. So whenever you have a powerful center, all these games are played. And what we are seeing in that way is not very unique, but what are the repercussions that it might have? So this whole idea of lightweight versus not lightweight, I think is a little speculative. Why do I say that? Because whenever a new chief minister takes office, or a new leadership comes in, it's always 50-50, right? When Shivraj ji came in or Vasundhara ji came in, even they were newbies. Even in the last 10 years, with the current dispensation, has experimented with a lot of leaders. Some like Mr. Raghubar Das, they have not worked that well. But some like Mr. Yogi Adityanath, Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, they have worked well. Some like Mr. M.L. Khattar are somewhere in between. So to say either way whether these three people are lightweights or not, I think is a little premature. We will have to give them some time. So see Uttarakhand, Barkha, a very curious case where they had Mr. Trivendra Singh Rawat, Tirath Singh Rawat did not cut ice, and then finally Pushkar Dhami, Mr. Pushkar Dhami has stuck now. And despite him having lost his election in Uttarakhand, he was made the chief minister and then fielded again in a by-poll. So my point is that at this point, it is speculative to say whether it's lightweight or no lightweight. It is possible that all three end up being lightweights. It is possible that they end up being heavyweights in the long run. We will only know with time. But one thing is for sure, I think all three ideas that you sort of started the question with, I think for me have been at play here. And if they had these three objectives, they've achieved all three because they just could. My last point, Barkha, the most jarring, I think expectation for me was Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, central leadership will pull somebody out. The most jarring is the case of Madhya Pradesh. I actually did not think this would happen, given that the mandate was as much for the central leadership as Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Just look at the vote share difference, 7 to 8 percentage points. And we had the access numbers come up just recently saying that a large chunk of the voters for the BJP have voted because of Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan or the schemes implemented by state government. So I think MP for me is the most jarring case, but other two, I think everybody knew that something out of the ordinary would happen.
Okay, let's take this to Anurag. I think Kartikeya makes a very fair assessment. There are patterns, precedents in the past. There's the famous Kamraj plan even before Indira Gandhi. There was a Kamraj suggesting to ministers and chief ministers, leave your posts and work for the party. But that's not necessarily what's happening here. When the Kamraj plan was brought in, the Congress was on a weak wicket. The BJP is on the upswing. So the intent or the context is completely different, Anurag. Vasundhara and Shivraj do not look happy. And with your consent, before you respond, I want to play out one statement of Shivraj Singh Chauhan that has now gone viral. I'm sure even Pankaj will have something to say about it, where he says, मैं मर जाऊंगा लेकिन मैं दिल्ली नहीं जाऊंगा अपने लिए कुछ मांगने के लिए. Can we just play this statement of Shivraj ji once, and Anurag, please do comment on it.
मैंने उस दिन, जब आपको ध्यान होगा, जो संदर्भ था वो ये था कि बाकी दिल्ली में है, आप दिल्ली जाएंगे क्या? एक बात मैं बड़ी विनम्रता के साथ कहता हूं कि अपने लिए कुछ मांगने जाने से बेहतर मैं मरना समझूंगा. वो मेरा काम नहीं है, और इसलिए मैंने कहा था मैं दिल्ली नहीं जाऊंगा.
अब पंकज जी ने कहा कि शिवराज जी बिल्कुल खुश है. अब शिवराज जी इतने खुश तो नहीं लग रहे, और ये एक ह्यूमन साइकोलॉजी भी है कि कौन खुश होगा अपनी कुर्सी छोड़ के आफ्टर एन इलेक्शन दैट एवरीबॉडी थॉट यू वर गोइंग टू लूज बट यू विन. Anurag, how do you see it?
Well, Barkha, thank you for having me on the show. Barkha, I would say, look, on the exit poll, if you remember, I had mentioned to you clearly that, the narrative and the style of functioning of Shivraj Singh Chauhan is a very emotional pitch. Always, 18 years, if you see his history in Madhya Pradesh, his pitch has always been an emotional pitch, pro-women pitch, pro-poor and pro-marginalized pitch. And he portrays himself as coming from one amongst them. So I think that is very clear. And also, let's understand, he's hurt. Nobody can say what he has told in his press conference. It's very clear that he's hurt. But, understand, 18 years is not a small time. And let's also understand that BJP in this particular election did not announce the phase for the chief minister either in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh. They went on the Kamal symbol. Kamal ko bhi ab baaju rakh do. I'll be very honest in telling you that it was brand Modi that was, taken into people. And if people have voted in such a landslide, let's not say Ladli Behna aa gaya to ekdam se palat gaya. Aisa nahi hua. It had an impact. But 160 plus seats cannot be because of one Ladli Behna Yojana. Let's understand it is brand Modi at play 6 months before 2024 election. And let's give a very, very fair, let's be very fair to BJP in this, Barkha, see what is happening, in this recent times, what I've seen is the chief ministers, when they become too powerful, they make the entire power center very centric to the state. And that leads to policy paralysis of the state. If you see Prime Minister Modi's style of functioning, he doesn't believe in the fact that he should approach a chief minister as a protocol, then reach an MLA and then a district magistrate to reach out to the youth of any district, So the PM office calls the DM, says PM wants to speak to 10 of the best youth or maybe marginalized youth who have benefited from certain schemes. He wants to communicate. So PM believes in that quick communication. So what happens is when you have two powerful chief ministers, and traditionally they've always been hindrance to the center of the prime minister in his style of functioning. And also, let's be very honest, I would really give it a good idea that you have, somebody fresh at the helm of the chief minister. Chief minister, caretaker of the cabinet and not the Messiah or not the Bhagwan of the state. I think the ministers should independently discharge the duties of their own ministries or of their own portfolios, and that brings in more efficiency in the governance. And I think this is definitely a very bold attempt.
So
होता क्या है,
so can I
अगर नहीं
can I
बदले
ask
तो
you
बोलते
something?
नहीं बदले, अब बदल दिए तो बोलते हैं बदल दिए.
नहीं,
तो मुझे
मुझे
लगता है it's a
आपसे
very bold
मुझे
attempt,
आपसे एक
and
सवाल
we are
मुझे
just
आपसे
4
एक
5
सवाल
minutes
है
away from the.
मुझे एक सवाल है. You said forget Kamal, it's Modi ji. Modi is clearly there is a paradox here. The message in the chief minister's choice is no individual will be bigger than the Sangathan. But Modi ji is bigger than the Sangathan. There is a contradiction here.
No, because Barkha, I'm not from the BJP, so I'm giving an analytical view. BJP will say it is Sangathan, BJP will say like this, but it doesn't happen neither in BJP nor Congress. It comes from the top office. When a lot of BJP spokesperson also, I'll tell you a very interesting thing. If you actually speaks to a lot of BJP spokesperson, sometimes they will use this word, ala command, the high command, or hamare senior, hamara, jo Delhi will tag karega. Delhi kya hai? We know very, very well Delhi kya hai. Of course, the Prime Minister's opinion has its own strength. No matter what MLA, I mean, of course, let's also be very honest. If you do a poll and go to a set of MLAs, even in Rajasthan or Madhya Pradesh, and say Prime Minister Modi ki ye rai hai, और आप अपनी राय बताएं, can you tell me that will they differ from the rai of the Prime Minister? That's the kind of respect the party has. I mean, you cannot say that it's wrong. It is their choice and it is their prerogative to express their opinion. And Barkha, let's be also honest. When Telangana Chief Minister Mr. Revanth Reddy was appointed, a lot of people said he has no administrative experience. He's never been a minister in the past. He's been an MP. He lost 2018 election as an MLA. He's been a two-time MLA in the past, but of course in the previous state, announced while Andhra Pradesh. But he had no administrative any good stint at the secretariat or anything like that. So he became a chief minister out of nowhere. But we all respected that because that's the decision of the party. End of the day, they were also talk about Mallu, Bhatti Vikramarka Mallu, he's coming from a backward class, will also be in the race. But the party already made a decision to go ahead with it. And then they portrayed that it's a decision of the MLAs. So, let's not get into this story, but let's be honest to BJP that Prime Minister Modi or the BJP's Ala Kaman has done a very bold step. And whether this gets through, it's validated or not, will 5 months down the line, we have Lok Sabha elections, and it will be vindicated. If people vote for a thumping majority, then the debate ends there. If people don't vote, they will take a lesson. But the fact is, at least they have given opportunity to new faces. They have told time and again, look at this, Barkha, a young politician or a young aspiring politician like me or anyone else, if they want to choose between a BJP, Congress, or an NCP or a BSP or any party, what would we look like that? They will say, okay, the party that says, there can be an opportunity for anyone like me to become something, I would definitely like to join that party. And if some other party is not exhibiting this kind of an action, it is for them to introspect. But if BJP has done away with leaders like Vasundhara and Shivraj, I think they're the tallest leaders that we have today. And I think they're really putting up right there that,
Okay, I keep wanting to go to Nirja, but something keeps happening to her connection. Ikram, do you want to come in just briefly? Nirja, we've been trying to talk to you, but you haven't stabilized your shot. Can you hear
now
me?
I think it should work, yeah.
Okay, go ahead with your comments before I'll keep my questions short. Just go ahead with your comments on the choice of chief ministers before we lose you again. Nirja.
Look, many people expected that there'll be a Khattar type of people who will just be picked out of the, the hat. And they will not be known faces because Modi-Shah duo would now like to create new leadership in these states, and they are confident that in the 2024 elections, Modi magic will work because it is a fact. If there is an issue of the 2024 election, it is Narendra Modi. It is a bit reminiscent of 1971 elections when Indira Gandhi was asked the question by a foreign journalist, what is the issue in this election? And she said, I am the issue. So Narendra Modi is going to be the issue. His popularity and what he stands for, they feel is going to work, and they can take the risk of removing these state satraps who have been known in these states and are experienced leaders. And therefore the three names. Now the interesting phenomenon is Mamaji Shivraj Chauhan, 4 times chief minister, coming back to power, not just scraping through, but a sweep in Madhya Pradesh, which was really not expected. And some of the programs that you've talked about, Ladli Behna Yojana and a women's constituency, have obviously worked. Now, election victories are not because of one program. It's a whole combination of factors. So certainly Chauhan's acceptability, Modi magic, all of it has worked. Kamal Nath did not click to the extent to which people expected. There may have been inner rumblings in the Congress, which also created problems, and so on. But it is amazing, this phenomenon called Shivraj Chauhan and his emotional pictures that you showed, that I will not go to Delhi. I mean, at the end of his career, he has taken a stand. Now, will this put off his supporters even marginally in the 24 elections? And is that a risk that the High Command of the BJP is prepared to take? It obviously is prepared to take it.
I think that's a very important point that you make, that Shivraj Singh Chauhan has taken a stand. And I want to ask Pankaj about that. Kartike, quickly, I want to play out a clip from Madhya Pradesh. Go ahead, Kartike Batra.
Barkha, this whole idea that Madhya Pradesh, the mandate was just for the PM or the Lotus is just not correct. I have the data for you from Axis. 24% people voted for the BJP because they benefited from state schemes. 16% voted for the CM. 7% voted for the Prime Minister. That's what I'm saying. What this whole idea that the vote was for the Prime Minister or the Kamal leadership was probably true in Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, but MP is a different case. And which is why you see the margin that you see, 8 percentage points between the Congress and the BJP. Compare that with Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, it's 2 to 4 percentage points there. So I think it's a very convenient thing to say that, MP was all about the Prime Minister. It wasn't just the Prime Minister. In fact, the numbers that I've given you shows, if at all, that the vote was more for the CM than on the PM space. So I think that is a factual sort of thing that we need to be very clear about when we sort of analyze these developments.
So you've made a big statement. You've said that the numbers show that the vote was more for the CM than the PM.
In Madhya Pradesh.
And I want to ask Pankaj about that in a moment. But there are certainly voters who are saying that, and they're saying it on record. And Nirja makes the point that Shivraj, at the end of his career, with nothing left to lose, has taken a stand. Here's what some of the women voters had to say about it as they wept while Mamaji was being replaced. Take a look.
आप सबके चाहते हो और बहन की हर मध्य प्रदेश में एक बैठ के चाहते हो आप। हम आपको नहीं छोड़ेंगे।
मैं भी कहाँ जा रहा हूँ, मैं भी नहीं छोड़ूंगा।
आपको नहीं
छोड़ने का
वो वाली बात नहीं है, लेकिन बात जी है कि आपने इतनी मेहनत की और हमने आपके लिए, बहनों ने आपको चुना है, आपको वोट दिया था भैया। मध्य प्रदेश।
Nirja, before I come to Pankaj of the BJP, they say in the end, हमने आपको चुना था, हमने आपको वोट दिया था. They're saying to Mamaji.
Yes, obviously this is going to be a factor. This is a factor they must have taken into account when they made their decision. And this shows, that, it is a risk they will take, that there may be some people, particularly women, who may be unhappy, but given Modi leading the campaign in 24, that this will be a risk they can take, because this shows that they have a plan for the next term in office. They have a very clear plan, and they want their own team in the states where they rule, and
So
not those who have ruled in the past and they may think they have independent politics.
Right. So we have two strands of thought here, Pankaj ji. One is Kartikeya arguing कि मध्य प्रदेश का चुनाव मोदी फैक्टर पे नहीं था, हो सकता है लोकसभा का हो मोदी फैक्टर पे, पर ये जो स्टेट चुनाव था ये सीएम
मैंने बोला मोदी से ज्यादा सीएम था, मोदी नहीं था ये नहीं बोला मैंने. There was the Modi factor, but the CM factor was probably the stronger factor between.
I'm saying the election was not won on the Modi factor.
We don't know who the swing voter. We just say that if you were to compare the two impacts, the CM impact was stronger than the PM's impact.
चलिए Pankaj ji, please go ahead. दूसरी तरफ नीरजा चौधरी कहती है the only factor now is Modi, but Shivraj Chauhan is upset. Yes.
Barkha ji, your camera was focusing Shivraj ji. I was just next to him. I was on his left side in the yesterday's entire press conference, and he was very happy. and he clearly stated कि मैं बहुत संतुष्ट हूं और बहुत कृतज्ञ हूं, मुझे बहुत कुछ दिया है भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने, and now onwards I will do what the BJP will say to do me as worker, and I am the worker of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and which every worker is. And secondly, what was our slogan in Madhya Pradesh? MP के मन में मोदी, मोदी के मन में MP. We were very much focused on the policies and the schemes of the government of India. We were very much focusing the achievements of the Pradhan Mantri Modi ji. We were very much highlighting the achievements of the Modi ji, and he was the face. And no doubt we can say we were able to garner more than 8% vote than Congress by the image of the Narendra Modi. Secondly, you see the figures. Karthik is here. We won 163 seats. We were able to get more than 50% vote on 101 seats. That was our planning. What Amit Shah ji said when he came to Madhya Pradesh, he only said 51% vote and every booth of Madhya Pradesh in favor of BJP. That has to be the motto, that has to be the planning, that has to be the aim of the BJP worker. And talk about the policies and the schemes of the government of Modi and the government of Madhya Pradesh. So it was the Modi magic, it was the booth management, and of course the schemes like Ladli Behna, they have favored the BJP. But it was all Narendra Modi ji's and Amit Shah ji's planning, that is for sure. And nobody was expecting that the BJP will come back in the power. I was in your show a few months back when Yashwant ji was here. He was saying kaante ki takkar hai. But he was very clear. He said कि Congress is bit aged. Then what I said, कि it is really good for BJP that in the last 20 years, Congress is unable to pass the mark of 116, which is the majority mark. So Shivraj ji very clear said, and this Delhi issue, he said very clearly कि भैया आप वो मेरा संदर्भ जानते हैं. What was the reference? When someone asked कि शिवराज जी बाकी सब दिल्ली में थे, आप दिल्ली नहीं गए. Then he said कि मैं दिल्ली नहीं जाने वाला. ना मैंने पहले अपने कुछ मांगा ना आप मांगने वाला. That was his idea, and he said it very clearly. But you have taken 2-3 words के मैं दिल्ली नहीं जाऊंगा, मरना पसंद करूंगा. But the entire press conference was there to express his gratitude towards the leadership of the BJP.
See, Mama ji is a very senior politician. I've seen him for many years. वो तरीके से करेंगे सब कुछ, मैं मानती हूँ आपकी बात. लेकिन जिसको कहते हैं ना पंकज जी, reading between the lines, Neerja.
That's your job. That's your job to read between the lines.
I am trying to do my job. Let's get others to react.
I'm doing my job.
First Ikram, then Neerja, then Anurag, and then we'll come back to Karthik, and then we have to close. Ikram, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, like we are talking about here, it is totally their prerogative who they want as the chief minister. It's not our place to have any comment on that. But it is just the kind of hubris that the central leadership of BJP is exemplifying that we can talk about. Because when they were talking about Telangana, it's absolutely right. But whom were we talking about? There were 2 or 3 people in the Congress who were being discussed for the chief minister's position. A couple of senior leaders. Revant Reddy was heading the state unit. We did not pick up somebody at the bottom of the chain and made him the CM. Now, what BJP is doing now is that in every state, like we talk about Rajasthan, there were 5 or 6 names that everybody was talking about. In MP, there were 3 or 4 names when Mr. Tomar and Kailash Vijayvargiya were sent to fight elections. We were talking about them and Mamaji, that one of them will become. But what they have done is that somebody whom nobody had fancied had a chance of becoming the CM, that has been made. So there are 2 things here. One, जिसकी लाठी उसकी भैंस, कि मैं मोदी हूं, मैं जिसको बनाना चाहता मैं उसको बनाऊंगा. And second, send a shiver down the spine of your leaders, that everybody is basically on notice period. You don't know whether your position, your kursi is safe. You might be a cabinet minister, you might be told to go fight a state election, and then from a cabinet minister, 1 week down the line, you have resigned. Today, you are a simple MLA in a state assembly. You might, similarly, you were the chief minister of the state, leading the campaign, expecting to get, something for all the effort that you have put in. And what are you today? A simple MLA in a state. And politics is all about right. Everybody works for the party. Everybody works for an idea.
So you use this word hubris. Let me take that actually to Neerja and then to Anurag. Neerja, you have made a contradictory statement. You've said ek taraf to the only factor is Modi, and I agree with you. As long as the PM delivers elections, they will do what they want. But Karthik argues that the numbers show you that Madhya Pradesh, at least, the CM had a bigger factor than the PM and in these state elections. So how do you see the Shivraj card revealing itself?
Barkha, the recent elections have shown two things very clearly. One, that at the end of 10 years, Narendra Modi's popularity remains undimmed. It has also showed that Shivraj Chauhan's popularity at the end of 20 years also remains undiminished. I think both factors have worked in Madhya Pradesh to give the party such a sweeping victory. And to say it was either this or that, I think it would not be a correct picture. But obviously, Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, and Amit Shah, his number two, have taken the decision not to make Shivraj Chauhan or Amit Singh or Vasundhara Raje Scindia the chief ministers of these states, nor had they projected them as the chehras for CMship, because they want to bring in other people, newer people, younger people, to groom new leadership, and those who probably they think will walk more in step with them and do things the way they want them done. And I say there is an element of risk there, particularly in Rajasthan and in Madhya Pradesh, of course. But that's a risk that they've chosen to take.
Anurag, do you believe it's a risk? When you heard Shivraj ji, Pankaj ji kehte, they were sitting next to each other, saying, "मैं मर जाऊंगा, लेकिन मैं दिल्ली नहीं जाऊंगा." Did you really think he was not unhappy? Anurag, can you hear me? Anurag, are you able to hear me? Okay, Anurag can't hear me. So let me try and asking Pankaj the same question. क्योंकि आप उनके साथ थे, before I give Kartikeya the last word, क्योंकि आप उनके साथ थे, जब उन्होंने कहा मैं मर जाऊंगा लेकिन मैं दिल्ली नहीं जाऊंगा, इतने strong words from a leader who has actually made it a point to be very low profile. What did you think he meant? Why did he say that?
He said it very clearly. I am 100% satisfied and grateful to the entire leadership of the BJP, and it was a gratitude press conference where he expressed gratitude for all, including the bureaucracy, the common man, the BJP workers, the fellow supporters, the cabinet, all these things. And he clearly said, now it is up to the BJP how BJP is going to use me as worker. Whatever the BJP will say, I will do as I did in last 30-40 years. When some scribe asked him, कि क्या आप दिल्ली जाएंगे, then he said कि भैया आपने उस दिन ही पूछा था दिल्ली के लिए, मैंने तब भी कहा था कि मैंने अभी तक कुछ भी नहीं मांगा है और मैं अपने लिए कुछ मांगूंगा. And I am 100% satisfied with what I have achieved till now. So he has said it many times that I am really satisfied. I am very much happy.
What do you think will happen to Shivraj Singh ji? Is this a retirement moment, or do you see him moving to the cabinet, Pankaj ji?
It's up to the BJP. The organization will decide what next Shivraj Singh ji going to do as a BJP worker. Whether he's going to Delhi in the cabinet as you are talking, or he will remain in Madhya Pradesh, or he will given some other assignment. But there is again I am saying there is a difference. My friend was talking about hubris, means abhiman. We talk about respect, means samman. That is the difference in the idea of the BJP and Congress. They talk about abhiman, we talk about samman. And that is the strength of the BJP, and that's why all BJP workers are happy. Nobody is bothered about what he will become next day. He is more bothered about what he has given to the country or what he has given to his party. What is the contribution of the BJP worker? And that is the basic difference in the ideology of the BJP worker and the Congress worker, and that's makes the BJP strong party. Samman or Abhiman, that's the difference.
सम्मान और अभिमान. अनुराग, आपको मेरी आवाज अगर आ रही है तो बताइए. नहीं आ रही? Oh, आ रही है. I was trying to talk to you earlier. Go ahead with your last thoughts before I'll give Kartikeya the closing comment. Go ahead.
No, but Barkha, no, I just wanted to say, you need to understand how the BJP parliamentary board or how the Apex committee works. If you actually, one of the incidents that comes in my mind is when Jagdish Shettar's ticket was being, was being cancelled, and that was some of the critical decisions. Even after taking inputs, they take this opinion of the Prime Minister. I remember in Jagdish Shettar's case, you can actually check with the senior leaders of BJP. I have this very concrete information. Prime Minister said one thing in the meeting. He said, "Ye Mukhyamantri banenge kya?" Matlab, you want to make him a chief minister or not? Because he's been a chief minister in the past. It's an opinion. The party or they may choose to give him a ticket or not. They took leads from this, and they wanted to replace some of the seats, and seniors they wanted to bring in new faces, and that was a larger message Prime Minister tried to give. So that's how it works. Even as the chief minister of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan is a very important position.
Do you believe they have taken a risk? Neerja says they have taken a risk. This could boomerang, not immediately, but in the long run.
I
No.
don't think they have taken the risk, because they have not given the helm, they have not given the entire affairs of the state and the responsibility of getting the seats in the Lok Sabha to the chief minister. I'm being very honest. They have their own plans. They will run their own campaign. I think the campaign of BJP in 2024 will be centrally run from Delhi. It doesn't matter, the chief minister is there to take care of the functionary of the state, functioning of the state. But I think politically they have all sorted. That's why if you see key union ministers, key MPs put in the key pockets in Madhya Pradesh, it is to ensure so they monitor all 24 elections. So for them, they wanted somebody who can actually be not distracted by the electioneering of 2024, focus on the state. Meanwhile, the BJP will run the 2024 election very centrally on the face of Prime Minister Modi. And I think absolutely they're bang on. I really appreciate this move.
Okay, I wanted to give the last word to Karthikeya, and I have literally 2 minutes left. But Neerja, 30 seconds. There is a lot of talk about the BJP becoming like the Congress, and the Congress trying to borrow from the BJP playbook. Do you see shades of the Congress in what is happening here, or is the context entirely different, where the party is being run from Delhi?
Is this the Congress you're talking about?
I'm saying,
Barkha,
is the BJP becoming like the Congress? Is the BJP becoming like the Congress
in terms of high
Yes.
command? Yes, well, that we have known. The high command is very powerful. That is inevitable if you have a strong, popular leader like Narendra Modi at the helm, as used to be the case with other prime ministers who were equally strong, like Indira Gandhi. And this is an inevitable phenomenon. And we're seeing it with Narendra Modi also. Is it becoming like Congress? Well, the Congress is very different at the moment. So the Congressization of the BJP, I think, not comparable to the Congress of today, maybe of the yesteryears, when the high command was strong.
Okay, let me quickly get Karthikeya to Ikram, 30 seconds. All right, Ikram, you wanted to make a point about your party. Can we unmute Ikram? Yeah.
No, just on a lighter note, I just said that from today onwards, VRS will be known as Vasundhara, Raman, Shivratsky. So we should all have, see the lighter side in every political discussion also. So that's the new, the Prime Minister is very good at coining acronyms. So the new acronym for VRS is Vasundhara, Raman, Shivratsky.
Okay. Karthikeya, last word to you. Karthikeya,
Barkha, the Congress has a reverse problem. Even after defeats, it can't just change leaders. Otherwise, what stops them from getting rid of Mr. Gehlot, Mr. Kamal Nath? They are responsible for these defeats. I mean, more so Mr. Kamal Nath, I would say, not so much Mr. Gehlot. Rajasthan was a very different ball game. But the Congress has the reverse problem. But I will just summarize, Barkha, by saying it's not very complicated. What Neerja ji is saying, what I am saying are the same things. Basically, the BJP in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh went just with the Modi-Shah BJP strategy, and they were able to make it. Those were decent wins. They were able to make it. Madhya Pradesh, they had the cushion of Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan in addition to the Modi-Shah BJP combined. And therefore, the margin was huge. When they get rid of Mr. Chauhan, they're exuding the confidence that inke bina bhi kaam chal jayega. Koi baat nahi, our buffer was so big that even if we don't have him, we'll be able to make it. Only time will tell whether that happens or not. But I think what Neerja ji and I are saying is exactly the same thing. It's just that these 3 victories, 2 are in one category and 1 is in the other category. So one needs to put things into perspective.
All right, we leave it there. The debate continues. And I think someone, I don't remember, you only, Karthikeya, made this point that it is too early to dismiss these chief ministers as lightweights. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Vasundhara Raje grew into their own profile. They grew into their own standing. And so one has to see that. And one of the things we didn't talk about was Yogi Adityanath. Possibly, I would dare to say, the only chief minister at the moment that the BJP can't change at will.
Even Himanta, I would say, Barkha, and more now increasingly Pushkar Singh Dhami also.
Interesting times. We live in interesting times. Pankaj Chaturvedi, although we must end by saying congratulations to you. It's a big day
Thank
for
you.
your party. And so savor the moment. The analysis will continue. Kartikeya, thank you. Ikram, thank you. Neerja, thank you. And
Thanks a
Anurag,
lot.
thank
You
you.
were smile.
Thank you, sir. And to our audience, thank you for watching. See you soon.
Mojo Story has always made a commitment to its viewers to go to where the story is. And as you can see here, we are at the epicenter of the Israel war on Gaza. We are right at the front line, about 1 mile from the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military gets ready with its tanks and its gunners to begin its final frontal assault that will take troops into Gaza. As we said, we are not like other organizations. We believe in giving you all sides of the story objectively and as much as possible from the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing here, covering the biggest global story today from the epicenter of the war zone. So please, we need your support. Support us, become a Mojo member, subscribe to us, spread the word, and thank you for your support.